Herbways, the pathway to family wellness.
Shabbat Shalom. The name Staphylococcus comes from the Greek word staphyli, meaning a bunch of grapes, and coccus, meaning berry, and that is what staph looks like under the microscope. Like a bunch of grapes, a little round berries. You are welcome to Herbs and Therapeutics under the segment called Herbways, and today we are going to be discussing quite a number of things. This is don't forget, this is the only program on TV that is promulgating and propagating the tenets of natural medicine. It can only get better when you watch it on WAP TV. What are the highlights of today's program? We are going to discuss Staphylococcus. Why are we discussing this? Because it is now a general problem. If I receive 10 calls, at least 3, 4, 5 people will give me some signs and symptoms that will mimic or that will be close to or that will be Staphylococcus-related issues. The word Staphylococcus is becoming quite ambiguous, and many people are still pretending as if they know what it is. But today we are going to go into the nitty-gritty so that if you are experiencing any of those symptoms, you know what to do, whether you are a male or female. So I will advise you to glue to your TV today, or if you know anyone who is watching another channel, apart from the channel of Creativity, WAP TV, you better give that person that hint that he has a lot of fantastic information to garner from today's program. Well, we are going to be discussing rice today. What about rice? A lot of people will be saying, you know, when I was gathering rice, people are saying, are you going to teach us how to prepare jollof rice on TV, or what are you up to? I said, don't worry, just watch the program today. Because many of us, we are just eating rice. We don't even know what it contains. Yes, in our parties, everywhere we go, people eat rice all over the place. In fact, I've never seen that country in the world where they don't eat rice, you know. I believe even underground, people are eating rice there. We are going to look at it today. What are the benefits, and how should we eat our rice, and what are the benefits of selection? We want to select our rice. What are the criteria? I want to talk about this. Yes, as I'm holding it, a lot of people will be thinking, oh, do I want to start reciting incantation? That is not the issue. This is called, I don't know what they call it in your language, but the Yorubas call it ijabe. In any case, when you cook your ewedu and the thing is boiling, they will use this one to now give it a good texture. Put it by, you know, banging this thing on it to be able to allow the leaves to have a very small texture so that the thing can be palatable. But then the enterologists are warning that when you use this one to prepare your ewedu, you know, what happens? These brooms, some of them may break into that stew, may break into it. And you know that ewedu is very, very slippery in your mouth. You just swallow it without you knowing it. And when it gets into your intestine, a lot of things will be happening. The enterologists are warning that instead of using this, we can use our blender at home. Blender does it perfectly. Some people are saying, yes, they have made it in plastic. But you know what? Our people are now saying, no, we don't want that one. It doesn't make our ewedu to be sweet. It is only this one we are used to. Well, that is the danger there. We have to be careful. Well, some of us may say, well, I don't use this at home. I have blender. Yes, but what about the one they used to buy for you at Mama Put? Is it not what they used to arrange it? So please, we have to be careful. You know, they say hands of prevention is better than millions of cures. So we have to err on the side of caution. Those of us who like ewedu, I like ewedu too. There is no Yoruba man that doesn't like ewedu. Even Igbos, I have a boss who is an Igbo. He likes ewedu like no man's business. You know, so, but when you are preparing your ewedu, for God's sake, please use blender so that you will not be spending money you are not supposed to spend as a sort of surgery. You know, these are preventable stuffs. So let's discuss rice. Now, what about rice? The botanical name for rice is Orisa sativa. That is the botanical name. Rice. This is rice. Yes, what about rice? That's what we are discussing today. It belongs to the grass family, and it is a good source of complex carbohydrate. Why people like rice is because of the fact that it is easily digested. Anybody can grab rice anytime. Even some people can eat rice 3 times a day. Yes, I don't see that country in the world where they don't eat rice. But then these are what we must watch out for. We have different types of rice. Those women who always go to the market, they know. We have Faruso, we have Fofada, we have I don't want to be advertising them. They come with all sorts of brand names. So we have polished rice. This is rice that is milled to a high degree coated with some foreign substances such as glucose and talcum. So that's why some people will tell you that certain rice has been rebaggaged, certain rice has been mixed. So polished rice, this is polished rice. Hand pounded rice, this one arises from ox bran layers being partly removed without the use of powerful machinery. I mean, we usually see them on TV when they are blowing it like this, trying to blow off all the things that came with it. Then we have parboiled rice. Rice specially processed by steaming or soaked in water, then heated and dried. They are called parboiled. Sorry, I said parboiled. Parboiled rice, And there are some rice then, if you want to cook them, you still have to parboil them, So then, of course, we have white rice. No, we have milled rice. This is rice from husk, gum, and bran layers. The bran layer has been completely removed by power machinery. Those kind of rice wouldn't have any food substances when they are completely polished, Brown rice. Brown rice, which only husk has been removed by a layer of bran, and most of the gum retained, is called brown rice. Those ones, they still have the external coating on them. These are the ones that is very nourishing. From the simple analysis, we can see that brown rice is an ideal food to be taken. Now, what can you derive when you eat rice? Listen, rejuvenation, vitamin B complex offered by natural brown rice promotes youthfulness energy, nourishment to the skin and blood vessels. Minerals in brown rice help to nourish the hormonal system, heals wound, and regulate blood pressure. So it means people who are having issues with blood pressure can eat rice, but let it be balanced diet. High blood pressure, since rice has no fat and cholesterol, as well as low salt content, is an excellent diet for hypertensive patients. The calcium in brown rice soothes and relaxes nervous system and help relieve the symptom of HBP, high blood pressure. Digestive system disorder, because of the fiber content, it has a low fiber content anyway, so it suits the digestive system. Cancer prevention. Brown rice is rich in insoluble fiber, can protect against many types of cancer. Because such insoluble fibers are vital for protecting the body against the development of metastasis or cancerous cells. Can you beat that? Then rich in vitamins. Rice is an excellent source of minerals like niacin, vitamin D, calcium, iron, thiamine, riboflavin. These vitamins provide the foundation for body metabolism, immune system health, and functioning of the organ. So we can see that is rice. So if you want to buy rice, the federal government has been very, very vocal these days, advising us to eat our own local rice. You see, in the olden days, people eat ofada. Ofada is still very, very rich. People are now going back. If you go to Paris now, people eat ofada. But must you be eating ofada only at parties? Can't we eat it at our different homes? The answer is yes, we can eat it at our homes. So we cannot continue to depend on rice that are imported, because in the process of milling and grinding, some of them, the useful things there, the outer coating, has been removed. And in that case, the rice may not really do our body any good. Yes, we can say it is very nourishing, but what was the purpose of something that is sweet? I am not enjoying it. It's like you are eating chewing gum. When you eat it for a while, you masticate for a while, then you throw it off. So what benefit have you derived? So that is that. So that is how it's going to be on this segment. When we come back in the second segment, we are going to be taking on Staphylococcus. Some people will say it's Staphylococcus, but it is called Staphylococcus. We are going to look at it in the next segment. So you have to listen to this program, especially the men and women folk, because this is a particular bacteria that affects both sexes. So when you continue to exhibit all these signs and symptoms, you should know what to do. So let's see at the second segment. Shabbat Shalom and good morning. Welcome back. Like I said in the first segment, the name Staphylococcus comes from the Greek word staphyli. Let me spell it. Staphyyle, meaning a bunch of grapes, and coccus, meaning berry. That is what staph looks like when you look at it under the microscope, like a bunch of grapes. Staphylococcus, we have over 300 different types of Staphylococcus that can infect humans, but the most infectious ones are caused by Staphylococcus aureus. Staph-related illness can range from mild to severe and potentially fatal if necessary action is not taken. So the issue of staph is not what you take with levity. Now, if you're a woman, listen to this. It can be found in the nose and on the skin. When it happens in the pelvic, it causes hormonal changes in women as it leads to irregular menstruation or no menses at all, which is known as amenorrhea in medical parlance. At times, it leads to abdominal pains and occasional discharge among women, and also attacks the womb, the ovary, and thereby leads to female infertility, and it can also lead to ectopic pregnancy. So if you're a woman, you are listening to this program, look at all those symptoms. Which one is very familiar to you, or which of them are you suffering from? Because today, many of us, or let me say, when we go to hospital, some people may not even go to qualified doctors. So in some instances, some people will go to their general doctor who will just do general diagnosis. I always say it on this program. Have you seen your gynecologists who are trained, who should be able to carry out all sorts of tests on you to really know why you are still childless, to really know why you continue to have stomach pain all the time, to really know why you are discharging? These are the things. So you don't just jump to conclusion. And we have an array of practitioners today who are claiming they can treat Staphylococcus. There was a guy I came in contact with sometimes. He's another practitioner. He said he's the policeman of Staphylococcus. And I asked him, what causes Staphylococcus? He said, should be virus in it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? So he doesn't even know what he's talking about. And you need to see people trooping down there. Olokpa staff, that's what they call him. So we see people like this who are charlatans, who are quacks, who are claiming to know what they don't. So that's why it's good for you to get a proper diagnosis. In medicine, they say when the diagnosis is wrong, the treatment is wrong. And that is a plus for those of you who always watch this program. You know that when you watch this program, you always gain something new. Many of you have been saying all sorts of complimentary things about this program, that it's a program you cannot miss, because there's no way you will watch halfway and will not find something that you are going to gain. Today is not going to be an exception. We have talked about women. Let's talk about men now. In men, staph may affect sperm mobility and viscosity, thereby leading to azoospermia and oligospermia, as well as a condition of scanty or no spermatozoa at all. Thus, problem of low sperm count arises. Azoospermia, meaning that yes, you can release sperm, but all what you have released is called condensed milk. Nothing there. Nothing. So that is azo, mean nothing. Oligospermia means yes, there are some living things there. Motility, the thing will not be able to swim. If it doesn't swim to the destination, copulation or fertility will not take place. Okay? Now, we have talked about that. It may include premature ejaculation. Yes, I know a lot of men are suffering from that. I got a lot of calls. Some people will tell me, I cannot do more than one round. It's very painful. It's very this. Please check yourself. That is a condition where the sperm releases quickly before the desired stimulation occurs and prior to wishes of both partners. The wife will be complaining. Then, yes, that's the number to call. That's the number to call. It's a live program, so please, it affects so many people. All of you always call me and discuss. Please, this is a platform for you to say it out. If you know there is any ambiguity in what we are saying, you are free to contribute, Please call in. That's the number to call. Staphylococcus may also attack the brain, leading to meningitis, which is a brain infection. When it attacks the heart, it will lead to change in the blood pressure and pulse rate. So you can see that this bacteria is very deadly. So a group of bacteria that causes multitude of diseases as a result of infection of various tissues of the body. That's what Staphylococcus has been termed. Now, we have looked at the causes. Then let us now look at what the manifestation can be. From the definition of Staphylococcus is caused by bacterial tree infection, resulting in affected body of the skin. It's going to affect your skin. Skin infections are the most common type of disease produced by Staphylococcus. It can lead to inflammation of the connective tissues under the skin, leading to swelling and redness in that area. It can result in mastitis, inflammation of the breast, which may eventually lead to breast abscess, which may release bacteria to the mother's milk, in which the baby too can be affected. So when it affects your breast, you can transfer it to your baby. Very serious. In most cases, the bacteria enter the bloodstream and spreads to other organs, such as pneumonia, that affect the lungs adversely. Now, if you are having issues with let's look at the symptoms, like I said. The symptoms are consistent itching. Please listen again. Consistent itching in the private part. That's very common. You see some people. There was a time in Lagos they gave it in. They say Komobo stop. They will put their hand in their pocket as if they want to bring out money or handkerchief. It's a lie. Then you see the hand will be moving like this. They will be romancing it. They are scratching seriously. You know, Komobo stop. You know, vaginal discharge, storming sensation, internal heat that starts from leg and goes up, weak erection and quick ejaculation, milk substances coming out of the private part. I don't want to call the name. Migraine and impaired vision. So those are the symptoms. Now, if you are having any of these challenges, what are the type of things you should be eating? Because my sister is here. She is always very very strong on the fact that nutrition is key to whatever we eat. So these are the foods that probably if you're having that issue, you can be eating. We have wine. People will say wine. What about wine? It has been observed that wine, Staphylococcus cannot survive when the environment, when you take some wine, you know, that's what researchers have been able to do. Bitter leaf, mushrooms, garlic, food rich in beta-carotene and zinc, a vegetarian diet and low-fat diet, and yogurt. Those are what you can eat. Now, these are what you should not eat. These are what can boost the infection. High polyunsaturated vegetables, oils, such as corn, soybean oil, and omega-6 fatty acids. You know, and I always say, let us avoid junk food. Our environment today is littered with eateries. What are they serving there? You know it. Aha. So until we start eating our own food, all those things will not help us. It will just be building unnecessary calories, and it could be a vector. So please, that's the number to call. Is it hello? They say someone is calling. Hello? Hello? I have not received any call. Please continue to try. I didn't see the sign that you are calling. Please call that number. Try if you cannot get across to us. Okay? So, what are you going to do when you are having any of these symptoms? The first thing you do is your early morning urine. Your early morning urine, please put it in a container and take it to the lab. Let them investigate Staphylococcus. That's a very simple thing to do. Take it to the lab. There is no shame. Now, some people will say, I'm feeling ashamed. No shame in this one. Take it to the lab. Let them analyze it. Let them look at the growth. Is it scanty? Is it very much? Or whatever it is. When you have done that, then they can now know what to do. And they can be able to now screen which of the bacteria, which one will be. There is a test they call sensitivity and culture, which can also be done. So you have to run all these tests. When this test is done, when all these tests are done, then your practitioner or health caregivers can know what to do. And I want to say this without missing word. It has been shown these days that even this virus and bacteria, they are developing a lot of resistance to antibiotics. That's the tragedy of it. So my advice is if you go to an hospital and they are giving you your treatment, please make sure you complete your treatment. Complete your treatment. If you didn't get any better, the mother nature is there. There are quite a number of herbal protocols that can help you in that situation as far as infection is concerned, all forms of infection. In medical parlance, we call them communicable diseases, and they have their specific protocols that can deal with them decisively. There's no doubt about that. So, but the issue is when you're having this, do you cry out? Some people will be hiding it. That's the thing. They will be hiding it. In some instances, you cannot make love. You are not telling anybody. In some cases, it is the wife that will even be crying out. I've seen so many instances in which it is the wife that will be reporting to me. See, my husband will not talk. Why wouldn't you impregnate your woman? You cannot talk. They say ailment is about hiding me and let me kill you. But by the time you stay it out, even though you are suffering, then the ailment will leave you when there are solutions to it. That's why they say what you are looking for in Shokoto could be in your Shokoto pocket. Yes. So we don't have to depend on, we have said that 3 megabox diseases, E. coli, Staphylococcus, and the third one, which I always forget the name. Those are the Salmonella. Those are the 3. Yes, Mrs. Anizo from Lagos. Good afternoon, ma. Good afternoon, Mrs. Anizo.
Just
Miss,
watch your show on the program.
thank you. Please make your contribution.
Show on WhatsApp.
Please make your contribution.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Can you tune down the volume of your TV set so that we can join you?
Okay, sir.
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Sir, I want to ask a question. Because
Go ahead.
yes, I've done that. So I've given birth to one child, and since then I've 14. So I don't know. I've gone to run series of tests, and they said there's no problem. That maybe it's depression or not. And I'm just trying to doubt as a depression. But I've used medical stuff. They've even treated me, which I even went to the hospital. Doctor prescribed and prescribed. But since there's no result, so I don't really know what to do.
Thank you, Mrs. Aniri. First and foremost, this is not an hospital, but then you can share your problems with us. That's my number. Yes, let's bring it up. I don't even hear you very well because at a point the thing was breaking. That's my number. Maybe at the end of the program we'll discuss off camera, we'll discuss privately so that you can let it out, whatever it is. This program is meant to counsel and to promote our, local ingenuity in natural medicine. But then your complaint has been taken and we'll look at it. But that's the number. Please keep that number, and at the end of the program, let's talk about it. I can still take one more call before I go. We are talking about treatment protocols, and I said there are array of treatment in complementary and natural medicine, and I've talked about protocols that are available to take care of all these ailments and some other ones that are under communicable diseases. Communicable diseases are just like infection from person to person. And we have non-communicable diseases. But today we are discussing staph. That is the issue. So some people will say, I have staph. If you ask them what is staph, they don't know, So that's why we are explaining this, so that people can get it straight. People can get it right. So that people can be able to seek the right treatment. If you, like we always say on this program, if you have been taking your drugs, fine. Yes, take your drugs as you should. But when you keep taking these drugs, or in a situation whereby you are not getting the desired result, please change to Mother Nature. Sonia from Edo. Sonia, good afternoon. Sonia, good afternoon. Well, maybe Sonia is having issues with the traffic, because I know a lot of people would like to call in. Maybe we can take one more call before Sonia. Sonia, you can try again. Let's take one more call before we round it up. Let's take one more call. If you are very fortunate, if your call could enter. So, Staphylococcus is the issue we are discussing. So, like I said, you may keep that number. I will say for the last time, yes, those are the number to call. That's the number after the program. And I want to appeal to all of us. Many of you are calling me, you want to have some forms of training in complementary medicine. Call this number at the end of the program and they will give you the guide. If you want to become an acupuncturist like me, want to become a naturopath like Professor Duye, you want to become whatever you want to become in complementary medicines. Yes, that's the number to call. You are going to be properly guided. And whatever your health situation is, let's discuss it. Like I always say on this program, HIV/AIDS is not a death sentence. Hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E is not a death sentence. Hypertension is not a death sentence. Diabetic is not a death sentence. Impotence is not a death sentence. Some people will say because they suddenly find out that they cannot make love. I know someone who said he wants to go and jump into the lagoon. No, you don't need that. You don't need that. There are always answers. Nature has answers to some of these problems which could be afflicting us. That's why God has created all the herbs, all the minerals and all these things for us, for our own enjoyment. So that is how it's going to be on this program today. I'm sure you have enjoyed it. We'll thank those of you who are able to call in. Those of you who cannot call in, sorry. It is beyond our control. We'll see you next week, or those of you who are missed today's program, you can Tuesdays another time. Shabbat Shalom. Bye for now.
Herbways, the pathway to family wellness.